Matthew Livelsberger is his name. And he says that it was a wake-up call for the country. He said this was not a terrorist attack. He said it was a wake-up call. He said Americans only pay attention to spectacles and violence. What better way to get my point across than a stunt with fireworks and explosives?
About to make it, blow a bag full of cash, like turn to the side, let me see. Damn, I think we all could agree. Just you and your friends, I done counted 2 or 3. And you looking even better here with me. We don't need no dinner, you the no boo. Tell me where you're from, girl, is your local? Got a couple dollars we could go through. Take a couple trips, yeah, I could show you. Jump in my Impala, get the backseat going.
That song you just heard is my new joint. It's called Blow a Bag. You can stream it on all streaming platforms. Just search Hollywood Blow a Bag. Add it to your playlist. Send it to your friends. If you like what you heard, appreciate you for listening. Now let's get ready to get into what's hot in these blogs. First off, Happy New Year. Happy to be back. And this year has started off with a bang. Within hours of the new year, we had some tragedy happen. What happened in New Orleans with the guy who used his truck to run through Bourbon Street. There was another incident that happened in Vegas where a soldier blew up himself in a Tesla truck out front of one of the Trump Towers in Vegas. And new developments are coming out about this. There's been some notes that were recovered from the guy's cell phone where he's explaining why he did what he did. Matthew Livelsberger is his name. And he says that it was a wake-up call for the country. He said this was not a terrorist attack. He said it was a wake-up call. He said Americans only pay attention to spectacles and violence. What better way to get my point across than a stunt with fireworks and explosives? He mentioned something about the lives he has taken because he was in the Army. I think it said he served from like 2006 to I'm not sure what year he ended. But he was feeling some kind of way about that. But my thing about it, because it has been revealed that it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound that actually was the cause of his death. And then the explosion was just after the fact. I'm not sure if it was on a timer or something. But my thing is, why the need to take your own life to make up this point? I feel like he could have just put the explosives in the truck and let them go off or whatever. But I guess he was at the point in his life where he wanted to go and then decided, and not to be funny, but literally like going out with a bang. Now that I'm thinking about it right now, it's crazy. I'm not sure if your message is across, because the only thing that people was thinking initially was that this was like a tie-in to the New Orleans attack and this bigger conspiracy of like terrorist attacks going on. And the more that's coming out about it, it was just a lone person who served in the Army, may have suffered from PTSD and wanted to unalive himself and decided to do it in this grand way. It's unfortunate. I'm not sure exactly what's to come. I'm sure there's going to be new developments in the coming days. There's a lot of data and stuff that the FBI said they still have to go through, phone records and the computer history, those type of things. Just very odd, but stay tuned. We'll see what else comes about regarding this. Let's move on. What else is hot in these blogs? Hov, Jay-Z, small victory, I guess. The judge has granted him permission to be able to file for dismissal in the Jane Doe case. You know, we've been speaking about this for a couple of weeks now. And initially, the judge chewed them out. He chewed out Jay-Z and his lawyer for trying to not go through the proper process when putting out these motions. And I guess Jay-Z's lawyer decided to go the proper way, and the judge has granted him permission to file for dismissal. And of course, Tony Busby, the guy who's representing the Jane Doe, was opposed to this. He was trying to get the judge to not allow Jay-Z and his lawyer to file for dismissal, but the judge said, you can file. And of course, Tony Busby and the Jane Doe have a chance to reply to it. They may file an opposition, and then Jay-Z can file a response to that opposition. But yeah, so far, I mean, like I mentioned before, this case is kind of falling apart with the details that Jane Doe has put out it's the math not mathing with it. So it's kind of falling apart. So it's leaning towards it may be officially dismissed, but we'll see. There's still time ahead. Who knows what will come out moving forward. But as of right now, what we know right now is not looking too good for the Jane Doe and her claims. We'll see what happens. Let's move on. Last but not least, what's hot in these blogs for this week? The judge has ordered Trump's conviction to be upheld and is moving forward with the sentencing that's going to happen in just a few days. It's not the traditional sentencing like we would expect when it comes to criminals, convicted felons. He's not going to get any jail time. I knew this before even the judge hinted at that. It's like, come on now. We know better. This is America, for crying out loud. So I knew that that's not what was going to happen. And it's been said the judge is basically saying that he's considering doing an unconditional discharge in which the conviction stands, but the case is closed without jail time. So not even a fine, maybe not even probation, but he'll just have the conviction on his record, which to me is kind of like, what difference does that make? Your man's is about to take the highest office. He's not trying to get a job at a company that's going to pull up his conviction records and say you can't work here because you're a convicted felon. So it's like, what does this even matter? It doesn't, other than bruising the ego of Trump, who feel like this was unfair and he shouldn't be convicted. And I guess in that case, it's a win for the people. But other than that, it's not really going to affect him in no way. So we will have historically now a president who is a convicted felon officially, because just 10 days after the sentencing, he's set to be sworn into office. Can't believe I said that out loud. Like, that's really happening. Trump, of course, has been trying to run with the whole immunity thing and trying to get it dismissed. And I guess in this case, the judge is like, you're not above the law. Like, it is what it is. This is going to stand up. It say Trump may appeal it, which he can only do after the actual sentencing happens. For anyone wondering, he wouldn't be able to pardon himself because apparently pardons are only for federal crimes, and this happened on a state level. So that's out. So yeah, he'll just be a convicted felon president. These next couple of weeks are about to be very, very interesting. From the inauguration, the SHIT show that's happening amongst the Republican Party or Trump's cabinet, even between Elon Musk and MAGA, is going to be a very interesting next couple of months. And we can only just sit back and watch and hope for the best. That is that. And that is going to conclude what's hot in the blogs for this week. Thank you for watching. If you rock with your boy, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, it's called Holliewood and Friends, which means I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the topics I just discussed. I appreciate you. New episodes every Monday night. Until next time, deuces.